Hello boys and girls, men and women. Today we're going to talk about the question of whether males and females can ever truly be friends. I think the answer to this question in the simplest format is fucking no. No, I mean it's there is no simple answer to this question. This topic has come up a number of times in the last few days, and as I talked about it, a few things struck me, and I realised there's an age and an experience issue here. Can boys and girls be friends? If you're under the age of 25, 26, 27, 28, you know, you're pre a good few heartbreaks, and you do need a good proper heartbreaking to really grow the fuck up. Maybe even two. As the Buddhists would say, you must have your heart broken open. They don't say get your heart broken so you grow the fuck up. The Buddhists say a bit nicer than what I say. But the reason why it's such an issue is because when males and females are at that age, like females are at their peak of genetic celebrity, to borrow somebody else's expression, meaning they're at their most sexually breeding desirable 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So in those 5 years they lose touch with reality, and then manipulation, that's a generalisation. I'm going to make generalisations about men as well before you get your fucking thongs in a twist and start calling me a misogynist and a sexist and all those other words that end in ist. And men, well, we fuck up because between the ages of 18 and 23 the hormones are raging the hardest, but you've got the least clue about what to do in the game. You're at your dumbest and your horniest. So at that age, or if you're operating, I mean there are 50-year-old men who still operate from that frame. There are 60-year-old women who I know who still operate as though they're genetic celebrities at their peak of sexual desirability. But it creates a very, very false context from which to have a friendship. And people use the word friendship a little bit too casually. They just fling that fucking word around when it shouldn't be flung around. You know, friends, real friends, I probably could count them on one hand. Then there's like varying degrees of friendship and acquaintance, and people I just like spending time with, whose company I simply enjoy. It just makes me feel good, okay? And I've got to an age and a stage where I'm like, if I can enjoy somebody's company and it makes me feel good and it's not harming me or harming them or harming anybody else, I just deal with that. I'm like back to basics, you know. And so when I hear guys of varying ages but who might be stuck in a certain emotional, psychological maturity level saying things like, I would never waste my time on a girl who wasn't sexually attracted to me, I think, you've got the right to do that, but you sound like a dick, and something about it is really clangy with me. It just goes clang, and I just think, well, why can't he say that? What's wrong with that? It's not that you don't have the right to do that, but similarly, women have the right to then not you should be upfront. You just be honest if that's where you're coming from. And guys like myself wouldn't hang around. I would never willingly hang around with a guy who had that frame, because it's bitter and it's desperate and it's needy, and it just smacks of adolescent empty swagger that is born of frustration. When guys talk like that, you know they're butthurt over something. So can boys and girls be friends? No. Young people, I think, are going to struggle to be friends unless they're mature. If you're in an emotional, psychological state of immaturity where everything is about sex and everything is about what happens with your winky, then you're going to struggle, because if you're coming men at their worst are desperate, needy, heroin addict spunk machines who are like, my god, please just give me some fucking sex. That was me shaking as though I had a fuck you. And women at their worst are manipulative and cold and greedy and like, oh, you want sex, come get the sex, a little bit further, give me some more stuff, give me some more time, give me some more attention, no sex for you. At their worst. Okay, those are the two worst stereotypes, and I did it for men and women. So no, between boys and girls, friendship can't be possible because there's a power play there. You're struggling, like, how did Patrice O'Neill frame it? Well, he framed it well. Women are trying to take men's time and not give up their sex. Women are, men, well done. Well done, fucked up already. Women are trying to take men's time, or let's say it this way, I'm going to paraphrase Patrice here, which is a sin in the temple of Patrice, but I'm going to paraphrase him anyway. Girls, immature girls, will try and take as much men's time as they can, whilst giving away as little sex as they can. Guys are going to try and get as much sex as they can, whilst giving as little time as they can. So men's attribute is time and attention. Women's attribute is sex, and that's what each are fighting for. They're fighting over it. But they're hustlers, pimps and hoes. They're hustling each other. Give me more sex and I'm going to give you less time. And she's like, well no, I want more time, more attention, more benefit, less sex. Which of course you would. Like, listen, I'm not going to lie, I've been hurt in relationships. I have as much hatred for women as the next guy does, but I'm also a rational guy with a sense of humour, so I can take my hatred for women and go, it's not real, is it? Well, I fucking hate them, they're evil. And I go, but yeah, I know, but you don't really, do you? Because actually, you love them. And then you go, yeah, I suppose I do, a little bit. And then you break through that and you go, well, and then for me the Holy Trinity is my bitterness, which protects me. My bitterness towards women and my stereotypical male hatred of women, quote unquote, which is a nominalization. I don't hate woman, I don't hate a woman. There is no fucking woman in the world who I hate. But I hate women, you know, the fucking idea of them and all this you know, Hamlet's soliloquy about why he hates Ophelia and you know, all the things that she does that get on his tits, all the things that women do that just get on men's tits. But I don't hate woman, singular, it's the concept. So then I break through the Holy Trinity is hating women, loving women, knowing that I fucking love women just for the sake of, because I just do. And then the third thing is just basic human compassion, that two-way compassion, humanness, just being human and going, well, they're in the struggle, I'm in a struggle, we're all in a fucking struggle, we've got to work this thing out. For men and women, can we be friends? Yeah. You can get to a point where you laugh at the sexual tension. You can absolutely have see, this is what pisses me off about guys who are butthurt. They want to create all these fucking super strict pimp rules. Ooh, look at me sipping my pimp juice. It's you just drinking the juice of your own fucking dogmatic, hypocritical nonsense, mate. Stop fucking kidding yourself with this empty swagger. I have all these rules. Well, the rules ain't going to apply because ultimately the rules are always going to fall down, and I just find it nonsensical. I can't take these fucking guys seriously. Yeah, you need boundaries, for sure you need boundaries, but at the end of the day, you don't need to take the whole issue so seriously. It's only sex. I've got relationships with women where they're not ugly. Oh, they have to be ugly. For you to be a friend with a woman and not want to fuck her, she has to be ugly. They're not ugly. These are some fucking good looking women, but you know, I started having sex at trailer park trash age, at Jerry Springer age, at Jeremy Kyle age. I was young. There's no mystery there for me. And guys who obsess over it and go, oh, you have to have these fucking super strict rules. A, they're butthurt. B, they think like children. And C, they're so obsessed with sex. All that tells me is they're not getting enough now, and they've never really had enough in their whole lives, and they're probably not going to get any more because they're so bitter. Who wants to fuck a bitter person, whether they're male or female? That's an issue for another video. It's not attractive. It's not an attractive place to come from because that bitterness and that bile leaks through, and before you don't even realise how passive aggressive and hostile you're being because you're in this place of I hate women. The last date, official date that I went on with a girl, beautiful girl, 24 years old, like good looking enough where I showed some mates of mine her picture on my smartphone of her Facebook profile and they went silent. They went like and I was like, well, I'm not going to see her again because she was hostile. She's a man hater. So the compassionate side of me says she's at some point in her life where she can't deal with men and she's very strict on the game. She's like a butthurt man. She's got all these rules. She starts with rules. I won't put with this, I'm not having that, don't you ever do, don't you fucking dare say. And I was like, whoa girl, I just met you. Can I get to know you first? That sentence didn't make sense, but fuck it. Can we chat first and just get to know each other and have some friendliness? Just fake friendliness for me, just fake normal human emotions before you go into this sociopathic rant about what you will and won't put up with. So, can boys and girls be friends? No, because there's too much power play there. Now, there are, I'm not ageist, I don't even think such a thing exists. If you've got the emotional maturity to see past all of that power play and you're 20 and you've got a mate who's 20 and it's just either not there, the attraction either isn't there, or guess what, you can have an attraction and not act on it. It's not that big, it's only sex. Sexual tension can make a friendship more interesting, but I'm not that much of an idealist. I'm not that much of a you know, fantasyland liver. Eventually that can become a problem. So yeah, you know, the question wasn't, will sex eventually get in the way of a relationship? Yeah, sexual tension eventually could get in the way of a friendship. If one person wants more out of a relationship than the other, then the relationship becomes toxic, because you're now losing. The person who's not getting what they want is losing, and the person who's getting what they want on non-equal footing is now taking more than the other. So eventually that's going to go wrong. But not every relationship has to go like that. And my view is, I'm living proof of that. I've got plenty of female friends. Oh, well, they must have friend-zoned you. Nobody's friend-zoning anybody. Stop using the term friend-zoning. This isn't fucking secondary school, or as the Americans and people in Malaysia here say, high school. It's not high school. There's no need to use the term friend-zoning. Oh, well, you're friend-zoning them, they must be ugly, or lesbians. They're not ugly, they're not lesbians, I haven't friend-zoned them. I'm not going to rubber stamp somebody and go, I would not fuck you. There you go. There, you're in the zone, the friend zone, because I won't fuck you. Will not, never. It's just, I don't want to fuck everybody all the time. And if you live in that reality tunnel, it's not fun. You know, and I have been there. Obviously, like all young men have been there, and I think I got stuck in that maybe a little bit longer than I should have done. I think it took me to the age of about 26 before I started to really shake that off. It's miserable. It's miserable because it's never enough. You're just you're in this constant state of need. And even I was quite kind of promiscuous in my 20s, but it was never enough. It was never anywhere near enough, and it never could be, because you're only one person. So how many people can you fuck before you go, ah, okay, that need is now satisfied? Can boys and girls be friends? No, I don't think so. I think there's too much of a power play there. Too much dishonesty. I asked this on a mate of mine who I know who's younger than me. He's like 19, 20, and so him and his 19, 20-year-old male and female friends started to talk and argue on this thread, and I just watched the thread. I basically pulled the pin on a psychological grenade, threw it down, and ran away cackling. And then, you know, it gets kind of argumentative and heated. The girls all say yes, boys and girls can be friends, and the boys all say no, boys and girls can't be friends, because the girls are the ones who are holding the desirable attribute at that. They're 19-year-olds, they're 20-year-olds. Once you get to 35, yeah, I like that last girl I saw on a date, she tried to play those games with me where like, ah, you want the sex, you want the sex, well maybe I'll give it to you, maybe I won't, are you going to jump through these hoops? And I was just like, no. I'm sorry, I'm not going to jump through fucking hoops. I don't need you. It's not, you ain't got nothing special down there, love. I've you know, I've seen a few. There's no mystery in this. You can't use that. Stop beating me over the head with your pussy. So, but men and women, yeah, absolutely. If you're honest and you're grounded and you've got a sense of humour and you can think rationally, you absolutely can be friends. But you know, I did say if you are honest, and that's a big if. Okay, I think that's enough for today. I'll be doing one again tomorrow. Yeah, I'm going to start doing these more regularly again. Okay guys, thank you very much. If you've got any questions, send it to richie@streetfightsecrets.com. The Spartan Life Coach website will be back up. If you want Skype coaching sessions, I am offering them. Just add me on Skype, Richard Grannon, Street Fight Secrets. Okay, that's it. See you later.